by Ms. Cobb, Ms. Tracy Cobb, Supervisor of Curriculum Instruction. So we'll start with Mr. Perry Medina, Principal of Martin Luther King Upper Elementary. Is your student here? Okay, you want to do your statement?
Yep.
Turn down so it turns off.
Check. Right. And right on cue, without having to prompt her, Mrs. Siri was right. Right on, right here, Mrs. Siri. So I do want to say that, and the same goes for Student of the Month. While each month, especially in the beginning of the year, is an accomplishment, as we get deeper into the year, it's a real testament to the work ethic of our staff and our students. So I want to recognize Ms. Lucy Cesare as our staff member of the month. She's a member of several committees. She's a 6th grade math teacher and an exceptional practitioner. I'm very proud to have her on staff. Thank you.
You need to get a picture? Okay. We'll bring up Ms. Thea Jackson Byers, Principal of the proud Principal of Bradley Elementary School.
At this time, I would like to call up and introduce to some and present to others Mr. Ruben Severiano Ruiz, who is the Bradley Elementary School Student of the Month. He is a 3rd grade student. And I would like Ruben's parents to come up. Please come on up, Mom. And his teachers are here, and they would like to come up as well. Come on up, Ruben. His teachers are here. That's Ms. Ranshort and Ms. Mancino. They just wanted to say something really quick.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of Mr. Mancino and myself, we would just like to congratulate you, Ruben, on the job well done for receiving your award tonight. We want to encourage you to keep up the good work. You are a very hard worker, and you don't leave your students out. You definitely are good friends and have been as well. So continue to read every single night and realize that you are the top student in the class, academically as well. Always know to reach for the stars. There's nothing that you can't do.
So, Ruben, we have some spirit wear for you. So this is for you. We have our dress down there. And we are the proud Bradley Elementary School. We have some spirit wear for you. Would you please wear this with pride? And when someone says, what school did your child go to? Say, my child goes to Bradley Elementary School, 1100 3rd Avenue, Bradley, Department. Also, we would not have been blessed with Ruben if it wasn't for you. So we want to give you your flowers to say thank you for blessing us with Ruben.
All right.
Yes. Hold on.
At this time, it is a great pleasure that I introduce the Bradley Elementary School staff member of the month, none other than our very own Sandy Shea. This is her first year as our reading specialist, but when I tell you she has stepped into the role, we appreciate her. What she did for our Read Across America for her first time around, give her a round of applause, it was awesome. Thank you, Shader. She makes sure that we have a beautiful climate and culture. She puts reading quotes all around the building, even in the back room. It's a beautiful experience. So we want to say thank you, Shader. And also, just to let you know, beginning tomorrow, you may park in my spot. Thank you, Sandy. We love you.
Good job. Next, we will have Ms. Tiffany Andrews, who will be presenting on behalf of Dr. Schultz, who is actually out on maternity leave.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm excited to announce our Student of the Month. I've worked with Destiny last year. I'm an instructional coach at Thurgood Marshall. Dr. Schultz is having a leave. So I'm excited about presenting and celebrating Destiny. I worked with her last year in first grade. She was in first grade. And it was a challenge. She's speaking to her mom. Last year was her first year here, coming from Alabama and from the pandemic. So it was a challenge for her to get adjusted to a new state, a new school, not being with her mom for a little bit. And then now in second grade, she has done leaps and bounds, working really hard with writing and reading and math, and really been focused and really has done a tremendous job in getting her grade stuff and really just getting the skills of a second grader top notch. So we're excited about celebrating Destiny. Destiny, come on. There's a bunch of stuff in there. We have, there's some games and books, of course, and some writing materials, and a bunch of stuff. So I think a lot of things that you'll enjoy. Right, so we're excited for Destiny. And I'm sorry. So our staff member, unfortunately, was unable to join us tonight, but I wanted to share with you her name, Ms. Kristen Bravo, who's actually Destiny's teacher. So it makes sense that there's a real Ms. Bravo is a phenomenal teacher. She was in early childhood, and now is in second grade. Has been a second grade teacher now for a little while, and just a phenomenal teacher. She does so much for our students, especially our special ed students. She was also part of our PBIS committee, and if you haven't been to Thurgood Marshall, we had a PBIS incentive for 25 tickets if you go to the movies. And when I tell you, we have a movie theater at Thurgood Marshall. I mean, concession stand, we have first, like preferred seating, we have mezzanine and a balcony. If you're ever in the Thurgood Marshall area, come and see our theater. But anyway, she is a tremendous teacher, and we're proud of her and happy to celebrate her tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Andrews. Great job, Dr. Schultz. In representation of the all hands on deck in supporting our students at our elementary schools and both our schools. So we'll now have our high school principal, Ms. Bridget O'Neill, who will come up and do her staff member.
Good evening, everyone. My staff member of the month is actually still over at the building wrapping up some athletic stuff, but I did want to recognize her anyway. This person's presence can be felt the moment that she comes into the building each day at 10 o'clock. I usually know because by 10:05 I hear O'Neill come in on the walkie-talkie. She has the best relationships with students. She's someone that I count on continuously for recognizing Officer Turpin, one of our security officers, as the staff member of the month.
So we have our students, but we're actually going to move to our biliteracy presentation, which will actually recognize a lot of our students from the high school who were just recognized this last few weeks. So I will introduce Ms. Tracy Cobb, our supervisor of curriculum instruction. If you would turn to the screen for this presentation, and then we'll turn it over to Ms. O'Neill, who will talk about the students.
Good evening. As Dr. Adams said, I am Tracy Cobbs, and I'm a supervisor of curriculum and instruction. And one of the departments that falls under my view is world language. This evening, we're here to recognize 16 students that qualified for the distinction of Seal of Biliteracy. What is a Seal of Biliteracy? The Seal of Biliteracy is an award given by the New Jersey Department of Education to 11th graders and 12th graders who show proficiency in both English and one or more other world languages. It's actually placed on the students' transcripts upon graduation, and it really increases their leverage as far as career opportunities and education if they so decide to continue on to higher education or the workforce. Of course, participation in the Seal of Biliteracy is voluntary. What are the benefits? It encourages students to study and learn a world language. It prepares students to be college ready, or college ready and career ready. And it prepares students with those 21st century skills that they so need. It also, most importantly, honors the skills that our students have attained throughout their world language studies, and it pays homage to their native languages. The testing process. As we said before, the 11th and 12th graders were the students that were qualified to take the exams. And this year we did it in 2 parts. They did their reading, their writing, and their listening on one day, and their speaking on another. The languages that we tested this year were Spanish and Haitian Creole, but in coming years, we're hoping to expand that list. And I will hand it over to Ms. O'Neill.
Good evening again. So as Ms. Cobbs mentioned, we are really excited to celebrate 16 of our students this year. We have one who's here with us this evening, Sarah Martinez-Hernandez, our board rep. Which is really exciting. I just wanted to acknowledge the names. So 11th graders first, we have Cesar Iglesias Marino, Sarah Martinez-Hernandez, Ziamara Catus, Galilea Hernandez-Garcia, Kane Serrano, Esteban Villa, and Brandon Ramos. And then our 12th graders who will graduate this year are Carla Silva Ramirez, Jadiera Jimenez-Ortez, Alexander Iglesias Marino, Reina Hernandez-Marino, Brian Carrasco Mejia, Alexander Gonzalez, Guadalupe Hernandez Nava, Vianney Analco, and Mariana Herrera Jessica. So congratulations to all of you.
It's really great, so we'll get those students' names up here. Thank you. We also have certificates for those students, like we would all of our other students for Students of the Month. So Ms. O'Neill will pass those out to those students tomorrow or once they come to school. And that concludes my presentation.
I have a question about the program. First of all, this is fantastic. I wanted to know, is it just a test or like, what's included in preparing the kids, the students to take the test?
Ms. Cobb, would you expound on that, please?
So the students have to show proficiency in English,
Right.
which really goes along with their NJSLA scores. And if you are exiting L, the exiting criteria also meets the English proficiency. And then you also have to take a test from, every school district has a different vendor, but the vendors have to be certified or approved by the state of New Jersey. Any other questions?
Good afternoon. This is my report for April 2023. I wanted to start with the sports. We had a start of the spring season for track, boys volleyball, and baseball. Boys volleyball team has made great progress and won their first game against Red Bank Catholic High School. We also have the debate team that has won third place in their division at the Uniondale High School debate tournament in the beginning of April. There wasn't really much to report on since we did go on spring break and all the holidays. However, there has been some issues resurfacing with busing that I'd like to mention. On April 14th, when the high school was still on spring break, students that were part of the dual enrollment program, Dream Academy, still had Brookdale class and were to report to the high school to wait for the bus that would transport us to the campus at 9:30. We waited for about 25 minutes, and then we were told that the bus company never had us for their schedule that day, so we had no choice but to go home and miss our class. So that's all. That was the only thing that I had to mention. That's all. Thank you.
Madam President, we have Jerry Conti. He's a partner with Holman Frankie Allison, a CPA firm. Each year, the district is required to conduct a financial audit of the school district's operations. This is required by regulation. The year ending June 30th, 2022 is the most recent year that's been completed. The team from Holman Frankie was out to the district over the summer a bit and then into the fall. There were some delays based on state reporting requirements in that the state had to provide information to all the audit firms across the state doing audits, so that delayed the process a bit. But the state also granted us waivers in terms of the due date for submitting the audit. So the district has submitted its audit. The audit was submitted on time, and part of the process as well is that a representative of the firm presents to the board the results of the audit. And that's why Mr. Conti, partner of Holman, is here today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me here tonight. As Mr. Hastings so eloquently put it, unfortunately, we're here a lot later than we'd like to be due to delays for reports from the state of New Jersey providing us that are required to be incorporated into this report. So we finally got those reports in March, the reissued reports that they have to correct. So they extended the due date to March 31st, so these reports were submitted timely to the state of New Jersey. I'm happy to report that we have an unmodified opinion on the financial statements. That's the best opinion that we can give. That says that there are no modifications necessary to bring your audit report into compliance with the necessary accounting standards. I generally
Can you say that in layman's terms?
Yeah.
We're all good?
Yep, all good. the best opinion that we can give. I usually refer people, if you kind of want a synopsis of really the audit as a whole, because it's a couple hundred pages, this audit report, and there's a lot of accounting jargon throughout. So there's two exhibits or analyses that I generally refer people to. One is the letter of transmittal, that is on the first page of the audit report. And then the management's discussion and analysis, which is on page 19 of the audit report. Those are two schedules that are done by management, but it gives a little bit more of an understanding of what transpired throughout the year financially, as well as where the district is positioned as it moves forward into the future with some of the major initiatives and things like that as well. Because the district received and expended so much in terms of federal and state grants, we're also required to do an additional layer of testing, referred to as a single audit, where we are testing specific compliance elements with certain grants. I'm happy to report that in our testing we had just one state single audit finding in regards to the application for state school aid. In reporting one of the categories were transposed in terms of the numbers and which category they were supposed to be in. So overall the numbers were overall they were correct, but they were in the wrong buckets, is what it was to say. So I know the district is already working on correcting some of those items. The other one is an issue that we've seen across a lot of school districts across the state. And it's just a minor element in terms of your school food service program has a maximum amount that's allowed to be on hand. It's 3 times the monthly operating expenses. Because of such large influxes of state aid into food service programs, especially late in the year, the school district exceeded that maximum. So really just requires a corrective action plan to be filed with the state of New Jersey, just stating how you're planning on spending that money and utilizing that money for the food service fund. So again, I know that the business office is already kind of working on a corrective action that I think is prepared for you guys for review. And before I turn it over, if there's any questions, I do just want to give Mr. Hastings and Ms. Brown a huge thank you for all their efforts. It's not easy having the auditors come in. I get to see it from my wife's side of things when the auditors come and bother her. So I know in addition to all the day-to-day responsibilities, getting asked constantly for documents and questions and why you did something, it's a lot. So I want to thank you guys and your staff for all the courtesies extended to myself and my team throughout the process. So thank you guys very much. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have.
I guess one of the things that you talked about were the 2 things: the student count claims on the ASA on roll and low income language, English proficient, ELL, LAD students were not always able to be supported by the respective qualified documentation. So that's what you said, and numbers were transferred.
Yeah, that's correct.
If you had an audit, the numbers were transposed on your audit, how did that affect us? What it got submitted to the state?
I'm not sure the question. The numbers were submitted to the state, but like I said, they were submitted, the numbers were not in the correct categories. So we included in the auditor's management report are those exhibits with the corrected numbers that they are provided to the state. The state does see those. Like I said, it was an error. The district should have caught it. Unfortunately, it didn't. Like I said, I know it's already implemented corrective action.
Well, my question is you saying you did it on your audit, or these documents supposed to be presented to the state prior to your audit?
So what happens with the application for state school aid, the count is done on, generally it's October 15th of each year. The supposed to count what the enrollment is on that specific date by school, by grade. So when the district did their counts, we came in after the fact and audited those. So we're looking at what the records say, what the Genesis reports and what the student counts say, comparing that to the report that was filed. When we were doing so, we were coming up with discrepancies that we couldn't reconcile. So in discussion with the school district, come to realize what had happened was, I guess there were 1 or 2 schools where so that ESL students were counted as not low income, they should have been low income, and vice versa. So those were corrected. I believe the state's been notified since to correct those numbers, to make sure that those counts are correct moving forward.
From your audit, were we having the same issue last year?
No. No.
So
The district has had these problems before, but I want to say it's probably close to 10 years ago, was the last time we had issues with the ASSA counts. They've been clean ever since. We haven't had any issues until this year, just issues identified.
Well, that money is calculated to what we're going to get in state aid or state designation.
Correct. It factors into calculations for subsequent years' financial aid obligations.
And maybe our district administrator is going to be able to tell us later. How much did that cost us? Any inaccuracies of what you have?
I can't put a number on that, unfortunately. The state.
We can follow up with you with those numbers.
Okay. Right now, with most audits, did you find anything in our issues with control of cash or over expenses or detailed financial reports attached?
No, we didn't find any other significant deficiencies or matters in which need to be communicated. We found that good segregation of duties at the business office in the district in regards to cash and all the other accountable revenues, expenses, things like that. Nothing of note.
Yeah, I mean, right now we just got the audit happening around 12, so I have to move on forward and use it thoroughly. So this question
and if there are questions that do come up after tonight as well, Mr. Hastings and Ms. Brown, they know how to find me at any given minute of any day. So by all means, I'm happy to answer any questions even after tonight. Probably.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, see if I can remember the athletic committee was on a while ago. I think they're still working on the banquet for the sporting banquet at the end of the year. And I believe they're going to hold it in district, if I remember correctly, from Ms. O'Neill. Trying to, Ms. O'Neill, do you remember the other items on the athletic? Because I don't have the minutes from the if it's okay, Dr. Adams, she's present, I just don't remember everything we discussed.
Those were in the weekly updates as well, but primarily the selection of coaches and starts of seasons, as well as the athletic banquet at the end of the year.
I think that's it then?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Sorry, our athletic committee chair is not here. We apologize.
The curriculum and instruction committee did not meet, however, we were forwarded the agenda, and no one had any questions concerning the agenda.
Policy committee. The committee reviewed alert 230 issued by Strauss Esme. The recommended changes are based on changes to case law and updates to language based on code. The committee also discussed amending the student technology device policy to account for lost, stolen, and damaged devices. The committee is reviewing practices in neighboring districts and will make a recommendation at the May board meeting.
One other thing, we have an agenda, the policy, and basically said we could have a community group. We're putting down that we have to abolish it. I thought the memo basically says that we can decide later.
So there's two pieces to that. Excuse me. The policy as it was originally written, the Citizens Advisory Committee, which is policy 9140, was put in place based on a specific grant from the federal government that required that to be in place in districts that received that grant. That grant has since expired, it's no longer continuing or available. So Strauss Citizenry looked at that and abolished that specific policy. They also recommended that we abolish any regulations that were also written in conjunction with that. However, they do recognize that some boards may want a Citizens Advisory Committee. So you can see that policy 9140 is showing as revised, not abolished. So that's revised to take out that state and federal government grant language. And they advise districts that districts should look inward to create their own regulations in terms of how they want that advisory committee to operate. So they're taking out the old one with the old language, and they're leaving in place a general policy for a Citizens Advisory Committee.
Okay, so yeah, so we just want to make sure it's on the record. Yes, we just want to make it on the record that we are not abolishing. Yeah. Okay.
Buildings and grounds? I mean, buildings and grounds are really, really short, so maybe finance. So, buildings and grounds, there were no facility use requests. Then our phase 3 project, including the upgrades to the high school and the MLK Media Center, are being rebid this week. The bids that opened last month were over budget. Then there's also, last month we talked about how we were getting an appraisal for the Barack Obama property and the maintenance building. So the appraiser has conducted a walkthrough of the Barack Obama School, and the maintenance shop is preparing an appraisal for both properties. And we get asked to have the appraisal of Barack Obama to include the land and the building separately, so we can see what that will look like. And we expect to complete a report by the end of the month. Also, good news, the elevator replacement project at MLK was completed over spring break. Finally, yay. The elevator is now available for use. And then also, and I hope Deputy Mayor Quinn is here, I don't know if she's listening, the playground replacement at Bradley Elementary has been completed. The project included improved drainage, new equipment, and new surfacing material. So she was calling me about that on a weekly basis. So, and that's it. That completes my report.
Finance, we talked about budget this year and supplemental stabilization aid. We did get 66% of the $8.5 million that we're expected to lose, so it turned out to be $3 million, which is still a nice chunk of change that we do not have. And if the board members look at your attachment to the agenda, I think it makes a point that the ESSER funds are covering a substantial amount of salaries for our staff, so we didn't have to make those cuts. And we're going to have a special meeting for the budget presentation on May 4th. We're going to be tonight introducing a tentative budget again because the numbers had to change when we got the additional funds, so that's on the agenda. Also, there's a change order for the HVAC unit in HVAC in Bradley because the ventilators aren't the same size, so you see that on the agenda. And then Joe mentioned appraisal. I believe that was it.
Thank you, everyone.
Are we, so we're going to get a presentation on what's going on?
So last month, the board adopted the tentative budget, which is the basic budget that we're putting forward. That budget goes before the county looks at it, they may make suggestions to changes or extra clarification in certain areas, and then they approve it and send it back to us. Once they send it back to us, we then do the public hearing of the budget, which is scheduled for May 4th, which includes the presentation. Because the numbers changed a bit from what the board originally approved last month, they asked that we resubmit the tentative budget resolution along with the accompanying resolutions for maintenance, withdrawal, and those sorts of things. So they asked that we just resubmit those. So that's what's on the agenda for this evening. And then, as Ms. Lozinski said, May 4th, the superintendent and I will do a presentation on the final budget that includes the reduction of the loss of that was passed in the recent bill.
And also, in that request, I know the state legislation is asking for a plan for future budget. Is that going to come through us before we send anything to the state?
What the state has asked for us to submit in order to qualify for the reduction in aid to loss was a simple statement of how we're going to use the funds and a resolution from the board. So there was no request for a plan per se. The board and the administration will look at those funds and discuss how they're going to be used. But the intent of the bill was to save jobs. So the additional funding that we're getting back from the additional loss will in 2024 be used to maintain staff.
Before we open up the public participation, we have a comment from our reporter.
Good evening. In accordance with Board Policy 0167, the Asbury Park Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and other matters of importance, and provides members of the public with the opportunity to express themselves on school matters of community interest. The public comment portion of the meeting is not a question and answer session, and all public comment shall be directed to the board president. Members of the public who wish to make public comments must be recognized by the board president and provide his or her name, municipality of residence, and group affiliation if applicable. All public comments shall be directed to the board president and are limited to 3 minutes in duration. Members of the public who do not follow the foregoing rules and or interfere with the orderly operation of the board meeting may be removed from the meeting.
Thank you. At this time, I'll open public participation.
Good evening, John Napolitani, Township of Ocean, Asbury Park Education Association President. Madam President, one time I used to sit and laugh with a lot of my colleagues here in the school district. Albert Einstein said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It seems to me that this administration right now is doing the insanity as always. There was an agenda that was up a few days ago, it's since come down and some things have changed. We continue to not follow procedures that are clearly in place, sidebar agreements that are ignored, and hostility in regard to this entire staff, including most of the administrative team right now, that's been here prior to the new leadership that took over. Your predecessors left a nice template to continue the improvement here in the school district. So here we are. We literally signed an attendance sidebar agreement that's bright white as the driven snow. Yet, we had to continue to grieve these matters. Not to mention the staff that are getting letters for being late, when in fact, the former superintendent, myself, the state monitor, we agreed upon an unwritten rule, which was a bit of a grace period with the chrono system. Now, you may have pulled the incremental pollings and other items from the agenda. However, the fact remains that they were there. Members were not made aware of this. Nobody was given a letter. Nobody knows what they were having their increments withheld for. They had to look on the agenda, search for a SNID number, and guess who it was? They wanted to see who was lucky enough. Some of it haven't even been completed yet. Increments were withheld And yet they are of the highest priority. Let's pull people's money. The members do nothing. Real morale builder here in the Asbury Park school system. And I say that facetiously because, to be very honest, this working environment is an absolute joke. It's hostile, it's combative, and it's downright disrespectful. We can only assume that increment withholdings were an act of disciplinary action, and to be honest with you, it's not going to be accepted. It's retaliatory, it's arbitrary, and it's capricious. And your attorney and multiple ones that I know of know that. The NJA has a lot of money, and I will not hesitate using all of mine in local association and use all NJAs to come at you because of what's going on in the school district. I'm going to leave you with this poem, and this is really for other people that haven't seen the rap. First they came, by Pastor Martin Niemöller. First they came for the communists. I didn't speak out because I wasn't a communist. Then they came for the socialists. I didn't speak out because I wasn't a socialist. Then they came for the trade unions. I wasn't a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was nobody left. I think this is where we are right now. So anybody that's left, join the APA because we're here to fight for you. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam President. My name is Danielle Petrucci, and I'm a resident of Middletown and a learning disability teacher consultant on the child study team here in Asbury Park. I am also the Asbury Park Education Executive Secretary. I am here tonight to alert the Board of Education members, the community, and families of how our hardworking, dedicated educators are being treated by our administration with little to no respect or consideration. Every day, parents entrust us with their children to educate, lead, and inspire. We dedicate our lives to this field and spend more time with our students than our own children. And we do this because we were called to this vocation. Many of us have other career options, but we choose to stay in this field to serve our children and the community in hopes that each generation will succeed and exceed our expectations. As educators, we are respected by parents, children, and those who all know that we can be paid a much higher salary to work in a different field, yet we have chose education. Remember how appreciated teachers and parents were during the pandemic? Have we forgotten of how our custodians came to school every day without a mask in the height of the pandemic to ensure our safety? The attendance officers delivering food and Chromebooks to homes? The social workers going to homes to check on their children? But what about our administration, human resources? Do they respect us? How can we feel as though our hard work and dedication is even acknowledged by our superiors when decisions are being made that impact our careers, our livelihood, our pensions, and our families without any warning, explanation, or support? This past Monday, the Board of Education agenda was posted. The agenda included the increment withholding of 19 of our staff members. It was up to the staff member to research his or her mid-ID number, most of us don't even know that, and search to see if they were on this dreaded list. Staff included on this list were never given any warning, any explanation, no corrective action plans. Instead, the members who had received effective observation scores and assumed they were doing their job well were forced to see this on a public agenda on our public website. Not one staff member on this list was given a warning, coaching, a heads up, or even provided the support from administration to improve their practice. Instead, they were left to guess and wonder why. Is this how much respect our administration has for us today? We have to find out our fate on a public board agenda? It's bad enough we find out the subject of grade we're teaching, even sometimes the school we're teaching at and the hours we're teaching, days before this, through this method. But now they're telling staff that they will not receive a salary increment next year with no reason why. I don't want to go into the legality or the lack thereof, but this, I would like to remind all of you board members that our executive team presented you with similar grievances last June 2022 after school had already let out, all of which were settled this year before going to a costly arbitration hearing. Because the experts obviously knew and must have agreed on something, but again, the insanity continues.
everyone. My name is Sean Hamilton. I'm a grade 4 teacher at Martin Luther King Elementary, and a resident of Keensburg, New Jersey. I'm urging the board tonight to kick back these rifts that are happening tonight. As of yesterday, there have been 131 mass shootings in the United States, and there have been 14 school shootings. Yet, in the wisdom of this administration, one of the people being ripped is our security manager, Louis Jordan. For anybody who ever lived in Asbury Park, passed through Asbury Park, knows someone in Asbury Park, this is a name that the entire town knows. Retired distinguished police officer, police academy trainer, for my brother who just recently retired after 32 years, who still remembers him with fondness, and a man who's committed to his security force. I feel much safer having a trained professional deal with the security guards in our school. With no disrespect to my principal or any of the principals, they are not trained nor qualified to handle situations concerning crises in terms of guns, weapons, fighting, etc. It is absolutely insane that this administration decided this is a job we need to cut. We have plenty of central office administration. Every time we make cuts every year, there's another director or supervisor added to central administration. In the past, the Board of Education just nodded their head and let it happen, even though voices have spoken out on this side saying this is wrong. I find it absolutely irresponsible and reckless that we're getting rid of a qualified person that handles the safety of our school. I can't even fathom why somebody would make a decision like that. You've got a $100,000 district photographer, but we're getting rid of our security officer. Secondly, on the list, 2 librarian media specialists. Are you kidding me? We are a school district. The gifts given out tonight to our students of the month contain books in them. Our librarian, my media specialist, Mr. Dean in our school, he coordinates his lessons with with the skills I'm teaching in my class. And his media lessons in his library coincide and correspond with what I'm teaching in the basic guides of my curriculum. And now we're going to leave the library empty. We're going to have the Asbury Park be great to come in and visit, but they are not media specialists in our school. Again, we're taking away an educational plan in for the sake of, I know there's budget crisis. I know that. We all know that. We've lost hundreds of kids in the charter schools. We've lost hundreds of kids in gentrification. The list goes on and on. But we got to finally take a stand here and say what is right and what is wrong. Firing a security director when 14 school shootings in the first 4 months of school. First 4 months of this new year, since January. So please don't just nod your heads. Take a stand finally. You've heard other people speak. Yes, the level of respect in this district for the employees is dismal. I live in Keensburg. When I talk to Board of Education members there, they all know about Asbury. And not for the reason that they should know about Asbury. The Board of Education do the right thing, take it back, and find if you're going to make cuts, start with that central office. I don't need 12 supervisors walking around my room. One will do the job fine. Thank you.
Madam President, my name is Michael Zajac. I'm the Dean of Students at Asbury Park High School. I'm also the Asbury Park Education Association First Vice President. I'm speaking on behalf of one of our custodial engineers who has been demoted, or is on the agenda to be demoted. So I'll start with, since Mr. Michael Byers, has no idea why he's being demoted, he's making the assumption he may have something to do with the flood. So let me point out some facts. And I believe this is also an anti-union animus action. First, per the district's requirements, Mr. Byers holds a boiler's license, not an HVAC certification. The day in question was a record cold day, was one of the record, on record as being one of the coldest days of the year. The district hired an HVAC certificated staff member, should have been on site, and one of the 2 supervisors to monitor the HVAC system. Mr. Byers was on site Saturday before the incident with the staff and students present. He checked the building before leaving that day, and no water leak was observed. On the day, Monday, upon Mr. Byers' arrival, he noted that there was a water leak. He notified his supervisor immediately. Staff and students were relocated to Barack Obama School, which was safe and clean. Instruction continued that day without incident. Mr. Byers and his crew were commended by the superintendent of schools for a job well done at Barack Obama. To date, Mr. Byers has not received any job performance letters or reprimands. He is the current Monmouth County ESP of the Year and being featured in May of 2023's calendar. He's a tenured custodial engineer. He's the head custodial engineer position must be voted via HR. Why is he being demoted without due process? This is not an appointed position. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Michael Byers. I want to put a face to the name on the team. I have been demoted 2 out of the last 3 years. First, I want to say thank everybody up here for my employment. For 20 years, I've been able to feed my family. I've been able to take care of the people around me. I want to do something different here tonight. When you go to vote tonight, on my name, just my name, I want to apologize to my crew because all the names on the agenda, they broke up my whole crew. And I feel bad about that because I take responsibility for everything I've done since I've been here. My parents have taught me integrity, character. And I want to do something different tonight. When it comes time to vote on my name, I want you guys to vote to have me, I want you to let it go through. Because I fear that if I return to this position, I'm going to be retaliated. I'm going to be humiliated because I was due to stay in the same building that I got demoted from. I want you to vote to let it go through. Please, for my sanity. I apologize to you, Mr. Medina. I apologize to my wife that I'm even up there doing this because I'm humiliated. I don't want you guys to create a narrative when I say that I will be retaliated on. I will not be retaliated on against Dr. Adams. There's other fractions of this district that are playing against us. There's teachers here that are coming up here and they're telling you that they're being treated a certain way. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I think, sometimes I think people are just exaggerating and everything. But I feel like you need to really hear their voices. I don't want to be on eggshells anymore. I don't want to go to work and worry about being watched. So I tell you again, I stand up here and, my words are jumbled because I'm, since I've been here for 20 years and I've been in almost every building. I've tried to put my best foot forward. I've tried to create crews and try to be a good leader. But I want you guys to vote to have me removed. Please, I implore you, because I need sanity. I need to be able to come to work and be focused on what I do. My health has suffered from this. The last 3 years, I have been demoted twice. Before I leave, I want you guys to all open up my personnel file. You have my permission to open up my personnel file. So when you get in the back and you go into closed session and you ask about me, whoever comes up to you and tells you anything about me, they haven't discussed anything with me. They haven't said anything to me. I learned about this at my second job, and I'm sorry for the time. I learned about this at my second job. I worked 2 full-time jobs. I was called by my wife, and my wife told me to read the agenda. And that's how I learned about this. 20 years of service. 20 years of service. Put yourself in my shoes. What would you do? I have nowhere to go. I have no one to talk to. No one will talk to me. Put my name on that agenda, you said nothing to me. again, I will not be retaliating on Dr. Adams. Dr. Adams is not the one that's going to be retaliating on me. That's all I want to say. Everybody, my name is John Washington. Here with my buddy. This was up here. Me and him worked together for about 10 years. Good job over the middle school. In fact, as old as I am, he made me a better man being a custodian. But we got people that put people in positions, they don't look at the seniority, they don't look at nothing. They just change who they want. There's nobody to talk to these supervisors and say, why are you moving this person? Why are you moving this person? They just on the list, and then you send them to work. As y'all go on, they just send them wherever they want. You need to change. I worked for a trucking company for 26 years. I was operations manager. I had 350 people in the room. I had no problem. No problem. Oh, I don't say that. But it needs changing. You got good people working for you. You got good custodians. I work with all of them. They're good. Please, look into it. See what's going on with this maintenance, custodial situation. You know, that should be the first step when you look at everything else. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Julie Andrew. I live at 528 West Clifton Ave at Asbury Park. My stepdaughter is an incoming freshman at Asbury Park High School. As we were trying to decide where she should go to high school, we had conversations with a lot of people in the community. And the one that stood out to us the most was a conversation a little over a year ago with Dr. Christy Howard-Morris, the current director of student services. Dr. Howard-Morris assured us, she sat with us, and told us that our daughter would be welcomed, accepted, and appreciated for who she is, which is really important to us as parents of a child with a learning disability. I noticed that this was on the roster on the agenda for one of the positions you're considering for your reduction in force. I was shocked. At a time when enrollment is what it is, I was shocked that the person who recruited us was being, on that list. Dr. Howard-Morris cares for all of the students and finds pathways for them to succeed. I have to strongly urge the board to consider voting no on abolishing this position. This would leave a void in an essential support structure for our students. It would leave Dr. Howard-Morris, an attorney, educator, a person who has impacted so many lives, in limbo. It's not an effective use of the time and talent of a highly educated and compassionate individual. Please consider a no vote on abolishing Dr. Howard-Morris's position as Director of Student Services. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara Council. Now that I feel to hear that now, as we practice your name. My son goes to South Elementary School. I have a question. When you give out the bricks, did you think about the kids in the district? No answer. No answer. One person that got a brick really helped me and my family. My son was in second grade. And I feel like it's disrespectful that you gave this person the brick, not one time, but twice. And I'm here to speak for this person. I'm not going to say the person's name. You know who that person is. And this Cassandra Marshall, she's not here right now. But she helped my son, Amari, who's in 6th grade. He went through a lot in the Thurgood Marshall. And I think it's disrespectful that this board is not thinking about these kids in the community that certain people touch. And for you to give her a rip not one time, but the second time, disrespectful. You put out this agenda, I got the first agenda that you put out, that you don't want the community to see. But I have it on my phone. And I need you to think about the decisions you make when you sit up in these seats and you sit up in your offices and you think about economy reasons why you're making cuts. If you're sending kids out of district for $16,000, some for $400 for 42 days, but you're making cuts based on the economy? How is that possible? How? Where's the money coming from? You can't pay these people that you're giving risk to, but you can send kids out of district? How is that possible? Where's the money coming from? I just listened to, she said $6,000. Where's that money coming from? But you can't pay people that you gave risk to, people who touch kids in this district? How disrespectful. You say you're out here for the kids, you're not. You're not here for my son. You're not here for my niece and nephew and everybody else's kids that go here in this district. You need to think about the decisions that you make before you make them. Last year, y'all suffered in September because y'all made risks. You need to think about when you go in the bank, think about it. Think about the kids that's in this district and the hearts you're going to break when you get rid of certain people in this district. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Victorin. I am a speech therapist in the district, and I live in Union. I would like to address the fact that once again, critical positions are being eliminated, including mental health specialists and our social worker, Cassandra Marshall. I'm here to speak on her behalf. At a time like this, in today's climate, some of the things were touched upon, things that our students have to face now in school. I'm just not understanding how any of us can be okay with this. These are staff members who have direct contact with our students and their families every day, on and off the clock. I've seen it. They understand their culture, and most importantly, specifically with Cassandra Marshall, speak their native tongue and know their families. She is our only, as am I, Haitian Creole speaking social worker within the district, and we have a large Haitian Creole population. She's established relationships with her families, and as you can see, one came here on her behalf. Last year, you were gracious enough to reconsider and rescind your decision to let her go. I implore you to do the same this time around. I really do. Because, just to get a little, I came from neighborhoods like this. And I've said this before to administrators. I knew when I wasn't being invested in. Our students know when they're not being invested in. But the reason I am here today is not only because my parents were able to get us out, but I had someone who believed in me, who looked like me, who was from my culture, from my community, and spoke life into me when I didn't believe in myself. And this is a mentor I still have today. Because of this woman, I was able to reach heights I never thought I would reach, including a full scholarship to graduate program. I say this because I look like our students. I had teachers who didn't believe in me. I wasn't supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here. But I am here because of people like Cassandra Marshall. So I'm asking you, I really am, I'm almost begging you to change that decision. I really am, because it's important. It's important to our Black and brown students. It really is, because representation does matter. And some of you on the board know that, you understand that. It matters. And I hope you reconsider. Thank you for your time.
so I've been here for over 22 years. I live in Neptune City. I would like to address just two things, please, if it's okay. Reduction in workforce, and I am looking at the health and social service coordinator, and I'm very concerned because she helped the entire district. She's not just at the high school, she has been places where you will never go. She has spoken to students that were on suicide watch. What's going to replace her? What's going to happen when she's not in the building? What's going to happen when they can't reach her? What's going to happen when we don't have that team anymore? What are we going to do? Because we are at rock bottom right now, whether we know it or not. The teachers are on edge. In case y'all do not know, we are going to people. We need help, and you are taking help away. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Increments with hope. I'm going to open myself up and tell you, I was on the list. Alfreda Clancy. I don't even know what I did, other than stand for myself. 2.92, 3.47. Those were my evaluation scores. Tell me what I did wrong. Nobody said anything to me. Nobody came to my classroom. Nobody spoke to me. I'm a special ed teacher. Please tell me what I did wrong. Anybody. I need to understand, what are we doing? I need you to explain to me or to the community what's going on. Are we for the children? Are we against the children? You guys are the boss. You don't work for him. He works for us. He works for the community. We are here to change the world. Can we change the world? Can we help our children? Yo, let me tell you something. I came straight out of a project. I am one of 12 children. My mother didn't play with me, and I don't play with education. And that's why I'm here. I didn't come to play. I didn't come to joke. I came to inspire and encourage and press them forward. Allow us to do our job. Allow us to do what we need to do to push these children in a positive way. If you're not for us, then you're against us, and we coming hard. I am so serious. We love our babies. I didn't come from New York to mess around. I love what I do, and I love these babies. If I didn't, I would not be here. Y'all have a good night.
Good evening, Madam President. My name is Eric Schneider. I'm from Brick Township. I've been a teacher here for 19 years, an athletic coach for another 10 years. I was also on the list to have my increment withheld. Now, all I had to do when I looked, well, first of all, I want to thank you guys because I was able to figure out what my SMID number was after doing some research. I had to look in the portal to find that number. So I appreciate that. All I had to do is make one phone call to a friend of mine that I went to high school with who's in education, to know that that was illegal, that I was given no reason whatsoever for having my increment withheld. So I wasn't really sweating it. I kind of was laughing about it, to be quite honest with you, because I knew what was right and what was wrong. The thing that concerns me is that people up here obviously didn't, because why was that put on the first agenda at all, when not one staff member was addressed or given reasons why their increments were going to be withheld? In this economy too, when inflation is out of control, the first thing that we want to do as a district is take money from people. For what? I have been working in this district for 19 years. And I don't mind tooting my own horn. The kids love me. They call me Dad. I got a birthday card a couple of weeks ago that said, "Happy birthday, Father," on it. So when we talk about hurting the kids, that's exactly what we're doing. So we gotta kind of get it together and figure out what's legal, what's the right protocol to do things before we just do stuff and try to hurt people. You all have a good night.
Good evening. My name is Reginald Bledsoe. Just a little background. I happen to serve 3 years on the North Board of Education. I'm currently an appointed school board member in the Essex County School of Technology. And I struggle coming to this mic to do this because I understand how important boards are, and I understand that the work that you do each and every day. And oftentimes it can be complicated when you have folks who are not from your town coming in telling you what you should do. However, I felt compelled today to speak on behalf of someone who has been very instrumental in my life, and that is Dr. Christy Howard. I've known Christy since I was 16 years old as a student at Mertech High School, when she was my freshman. And I've known the work, how she's committed herself in the past 7 years to this district. On weekends, evenings, doing expunge seminars, and it's quite hurtful and disappointing to see that after 7 years of giving her life to this district, that she's just being disregarded, disrespected each and every day. And it's personal because the fact is that this superintendent, who is at the head today, actually came in as a principal under Dr. Howard Mark's leadership under the previous administration. Was not in central office, had no understanding what central office was doing. He ran a building. And oftentimes, when this specific superintendent needed guidance, he depended on the leadership and the wisdom of Dr. Howard Marks. So it's quite perplexed to me that her years, her years that she's given to this district is being disrespected, disregarded, and not appreciated. And in any position, I question if you are saving money, I question that. Because at the end of the day, this individual has tenure. So what savings are you actually saving if you try to abolish her position? Because she's going to be here, she's going to collect the salary. So to the board, I question, what savings is actually happening by abolishing her position? Absolutely nothing. She's still going to collect the salary. She's still going to have tenure. So I question, what is this really about? You received $6 million from the state of New Jersey. You were asked to come up with a plan on how you're going to use the money. I question, is this savings or is it something else? So I ask you all, in your leadership, you were elected by the people of this town. A town that I have a lot of love for, a town that's growing every single day. There's a way that you do things, and you do not show your professionals to the door and what you're doing to this individual. So thank you.
Good evening, all. My name is Nina Summer, and I reside at 1101 Banks. And I'm a community leader who has done community events in this community for years, for our seniors and for our children. And it's sad to be a resident of Asbury Park for the last 40-something years, to sit in a board meeting and hear our staff complain that they're not getting the support that they need, from whether it's from the board, from administration, or whoever. It's just sad that this is what we're coming to in the year 2023. And I understand that it's a hard position for a lot of you guys to be in, but when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, these are the people that interact with our children every day, 7 days a week, most of them. And at some point in our lives, we need to really reconsider the fact that It's just easier to say, you know, we're gonna abolish this, and get rid of this, and get rid of that one. But then I sit back and I start looking at coming to a board meeting, and there's new hires on these agendas. So if we're really talking about, you know, it's a matter of we need to save money or we need to cut a budget. So 6 months down the line, I don't want to see another agenda where we just got rid of 15 people and now we're hiring other people to come back in the district. So what I'd like to say to this board tonight is really consider all these positions that you're trying to get rid of. How is that going to help our children become better people in our own community? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I came here to talk about my school. I want to have Miss Please translate. When we learn that they call me, so when they company on the but on the vacation at the well just to get my admin. So just parce que moi qui est bien garanti qu'on pas placer le c'est pour que une assez de population tout ça il faut
Hello, everyone. This is Rose. She said she is 20 years old. She missed a few days of school because she was sick. And then when she returned back to school, she took all the classes that was required for her to bring up her, GPA and everything. But then now they're telling her that she cannot continue. She has to drop off because of her age. She said, what is there she can do about that? And then also, Rose is one of our ESL students.
Moi, j'étais malade, moi, j'ai subi un petit travail, papa était dehors, tout ça, m'a dit, côté de l'année. J'étais de fort, m'a dit, côté de l'année, tout ça, m'a dit, mon pour bien ça m'a fait, une dépression, tout ça, m'a dit, mon bien ça m'a fait. But au fond, il fallait que je me débarrasse, sur mon bien ça m'a fait, tout ça. Bien complètement, parce que ça possible. But c'est juste peut-être façon de ma part.
She said that she was sick, and then later on, her father put her out. She was living on the street. She had nowhere to go. And for some reason, she's still continuing to go to school and try to better herself. Now her mother just came. She has somewhere to stay. She's going to continue to go to school. And she just hoped that you guys can help her out. She said she knows everybody makes mistakes, and she just want to graduate.
I was going to get up here and say anything, but this has been going on too long. I graduated at Asbury Park High School in 1982. And I have two sons and a daughter that went to Asbury Park High School. I'm a former board member. We need to stop all the shenanigans and let's just get this stuff together. That's not the word I want to use, but I'm going to be respectful. So, do we have to remove everybody and start over from the top to the bottom? It's it's getting ridiculous now. I paid Burger King's son 2 months ago, but I guess that didn't happen because people still trying to have stuff their way. So let's just get it together. work together as a community, work together as a district, administrator, teachers, staff. We need to get it together, because it's like, after a while, people gonna come in and nobody's gonna have a job. And we're gonna be homeschooling our kids, because it's not gonna be a district, it's not gonna be a school district aspect part. So if you don't get it together, you want people to come in and take over. I mean, we have a principal state monitor here already. Let's do something. You gotta get this stuff together, because it's getting ridiculous now. Y'all have a good night.
My name is Beverly Lyons. Good evening, and I live at the Asbury Tower here in Asbury Park. And I am thoroughly relieved to hear that the committee advisory board is going to be revised, because as I viewed the agenda, I saw that it was going to be abolished, and it rocked my very core. And studies have shown that when there is authentic, positive community engagement, the entire school community thrives. Students are successful, teachers and administrators are fulfilled, and the community feels included. I feel very strongly that we do not only revise it, but ignite it. And not 12 years later. This year is gone. It's gone. And if we drag our feet getting the community together with the administration and our precious teachers who are feeding and nurturing and helping our children, it would be a shame for me to hold my head up as an alumni from Asbury Park School District. Please hear our cries. They may be varied, but if you think about it, it all comes together for the good of our children. So please, in regards to this advisory committee being revised, it needs to be ignited now. Thank you.
Hi, Madam President. My name is Amy DePaul. This is my name. I'm on the RIF list. I'm a media specialist here at Bradley Elementary School and Thurgood Marshall. I also teach Saturday school here, and I use newsletter advisor. I'm a yearbook person. I do the school pictures. I teach over 400 kids every week. And media is important. It's literacy. I coincide with the teachers' lessons every week. And I think it's a shame that Mr. Deemer on this list, because what are we doing here if we don't have any kind of literacy? So I want to put a face to my name, Amy DePaul. Please reconsider our jobs. Thank you.
My name is Corey Lewin. I am a resident of Asbury Park. I initially came as a part of my capacity as the president of the Asbury Park Kiwanis Club. We are a service organization that aims to improve the lives of children in our community. And so, before I get into why I wanted to come to speak as the president of the Asbury Park Kiwanis Club, I also wanted to speak to you as a member of the community and to implore you to take a different approach and to reconsider eliminating some of these crucial positions. 20% of children under 18 have contemplated suicide. And mental health is a huge issue in our community and across the nation as we're asking these children to grapple with everything from their daily lives to a global pandemic. So before I get into my business here as a Kiwanis Club member, I just wanted to make one effort to have you all reconsider the elimination of some of these positions. As I move into, I hope what can be a little bit of some positive news here is that the Asbury Club, Asbury Park Kiwanis Club, rechartered in 2020. We're still new to the community. We're still getting to know a lot of you and a lot of you. And this year we are actually going to be offering scholarships to students who will be continuing their education, not necessarily in a four-year college capacity, but in any way that furthers their development, associate's degrees, vocational schools, things like that. We are very, very early on in this process, but just wanted to, as a newer member of the community, introduce myself to all of you, introduce some of the work that the Asbury Park Kiwanis Club is doing, with the hopes that we can continue to work together as we get these opportunities to our students, who can then potentially use that as a springboard to better, bigger and better things. So thank you so much for the time.
Thank you. At this time, I'll close public participation. Dr. Gordon will give you the report.
Good evening. There was one reported incident of HIV at the upper elementary school, and it was determination that it was not an HIV. That concludes my report. Thank you.
April is Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month. Whereas there are about 2 million youth aged 17 and younger living in New Jersey, and whereas it is estimated that 1 in 100 children experiences abuse, and whereas childhood maltreatment and abuse are traumatic events that increase an individual's adverse childhood experiences, which, without intervention, can result in lifelong negative emotional, physical, financial, educational, and social health outcomes. And whereas child abuse is a public health crisis, and whereas all children deserve to be nurtured, protected, and free from physical or emotional harm, and whereas the state of New Jersey and the New Jersey Department of Children and Families believes that healthy families raise healthy children, and whereas the state of New Jersey offers a robust continuum of community-based child abuse prevention and intervention programs that are culturally competent, strength-based, and family-centered. And whereas, as noted by the United States Administration for Children and Families 2020 review of child protective services across the nation, the rate at which children are maltreated in New Jersey is lower than the national average. And whereas in New Jersey, the rate at which children continue to be maltreated following initial child welfare intervention is significantly lower than that of the national average. And whereas all sectors of the community, including law enforcement, medical professionals, schools, courts, and media outlets, as well as numerous public and private agencies, have joined forces to promote public awareness and community involvement in keeping children and their families safe, healthy, and connected during the month of April and throughout the year. Now, therefore, I, Philip D. Murphy, Governor of the State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim April 2023 as Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month in New Jersey. So we have a motion to adopt and second the resolution. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
I make a motion, Madam President. Are we done with all the other business?
Can we do the minutes before we cut that section. I have a motion for 13 and 14 on 83.
Second.
This is for the adoption of the minutes and the motion of the revised calendar. Ms. Lozinski?
Yes.
Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Dr. Penna?
Yes.
Ms. Riggs?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Ms. Osbaty?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes.
Thank you, motion carries.
So I do realize I don't have my motion to accept this paragraph on my sheets. Oh, I apologize. So whereas the Open Public Meeting Act allows for exclusion from discussion at the public participation of the meeting of certain matters as outlined below. Whereas the Asbury Park Board of Education was to discuss such matters may and will make such discussions public, proper conclusion has been reached. Now therefore to be resolved that the Asbury Park Board of Education will hold a closed executive session on the date April 20, 2023 at Asbury Park, New Jersey for the purpose of outlined below, which is for personnel. And to review my approaches.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the board's going to retire to a closed executive session to discuss personnel matters, litigation matters, and to receive attorney-client information. It's expected that the board will be in executive session for about an hour, after which it will come back and take action here in public. There will be no action taken while the board is in executive session. Thank you.
But every generation has this. So kind of.
Keep your head above the water. Absolutely.
So anyway. Meeting with this.
With the Wu-Tang shirt, and he's listening to Christy, I'll see you. All right.
Yeah, you feeling calm. Yeah, you feeling calm. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Sorry. Okay, you know what? You will see. I'll see it over there.
Make sure, first thing in the morning, I need to know.
So I can actually do that.
You remember me, Mama? How you doing? I'm probably too much today. Maybe I remember you. So, don't have a Maybe what we talk to you tomorrow, okay? Okay? Have a good luck. Oh, yeah. I don't want to have, we have a yes. I very least I can work, and then they can work, right? So I she's like, I mean, she probably feels comfortable up there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Probably because of right. Sounds like you understand. So I don't know how many days, so I'll just get information. And then, okay. That's what I do with people too. Okay? All right? So we'll find out. Thank you. Now, first, you know what, you gotta look at the program. And I'm sure they will. Absolutely, right? So you can find this, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. You have to study. And they'll work, they'll work. They'll help on testing. They'll help you. have my old hairdresser. And you know what? I was like, who wants to do this? I put her You want it, you'll get it. And you get it. Find something. We all have a story. The story doesn't end here, okay? And reach out to me. She's gonna call me tomorrow. Okay? All right, sweetheart, of course. I see you somebody touching it. Come back in. Come back in. I said, come back there. Come sit in the audience. I'm gonna sit in the audience. I may not be a director long. I will be, but maybe not one. Listen, I guess I'll do it. I'll do it. Oh, you need to know that. Absolutely not. You know what? And so guess what I said? Come on, let's go. I ain't want Well, she had her assistant. And then they tried to give her a yes one. And then the next time, I should have the education as
taking little stuff that I don't need for the last 30 seconds. You know, they come in, they make a little announcement, we're done.
That's true.
ain't running up on me. There's nothing in this area. So far away.
Maroon. Oh my God. Something's happening. Holy mackerel. Ugh.
He's playing for Asbury.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. I want to make a motion to come out of closed session. Second.
All right, we just need a roll call. Mr. Grillo?
Here.
Ms. Lozinski?
Yes.
Dr. Bingham?
Here.
Mr. Remy? Here. Ms. Ricks? Mr. Rogers? Mr. Saunders? Here. Ms. Osberry?
Here.
Ms. Stone?
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to table B1. All items. All items. Yeah. All items B1. Just B1.
B1, number 1.
No, all.
The whole page.
The whole page, because they're all one entity.
Because they're all interconnected.
They're all interconnected. Right.
And B4 as well.
Second it.
Second.
I'm confused, what are we tabling?
Motion on the table is to table all items on page B1, items 1 and 2. The motion was made by Dr. Kennedy.
You want me to say it again? I'd like to make a motion to table items 1 and 2 on B1, and I'll second.
No discussion. I also would like to,
I have a move by Dr. Kennedy, a second by Ms. Miller. This is a motion to table page B1. Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Ms. Cook? Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Ms. Lozinski? Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Ms. Riggs?
No.
Mr. Rogers?
yes.
Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Ms. Osborne?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Also like to, table B4, except for number 7. Yeah, page B4. Everything, well,
I'll second that one. B4.
Remy, we're going to say more. So B2, maybe next.
going to be B2.
Yes.
No, we're not.
So, can I make a motion then for B2? Right. Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to accept pages B2 and all of B3. Second.
What about part of B, there's part of B1 in that too? Like, you're not everything in that.
No, we said that B1 is, we said that we would table B1 items 1 and 2. And now what I'm making a motion for is page B2, all of page B2, and all of page B3.
Is there a second?
There was a second by Ms. Riggs.
Okay. Questions?
This is all items B2 and B3. Mr. Grillo?
Yes. Right.
Ms. Riggs?
Yes.
Ms. Lozinski? This is to approve pages B2 and B3.
Yes.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Ms. Osborne?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to, table B4, except for, number 7.
Is there a second?
Second.
Can I get a clarification about except number 7? We're doing B4.
We're tabling B4, number 4, 5, and 6. We have a motion and it's been moved.
Questions, discussion? Roll call.
Tabling B4, 4, 5, 6. Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. Cook? Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Ms. Lozinski? This is the table on page B4, items 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
No.
Dr. Penna?
Yes.
Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Ms. Riggs?
No.
Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Ms. Osbeck?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Madam President, motion to Madam President, would I be able to make a motion B4, number 7, all the way down to the rest of the Bs?
I just want to state for a moment that, yes, you could make that motion, but my concern is with B6, B4 number 6, which is leaves of absence. My concern is that this may impact an employee rather negatively if the leave of absence is taken. So, in order to correct that, I would suggest that you make a motion to approve B4 items 6 and 7, if that's your desire.
Yeah, so why don't we make a motion to approve B4 items 6 and 7, all the way through to B6.
You make that motion?
Want me to make it? Yes. Again, I'd like to make a motion to approve B4 item 6 all the way down to B6, page B6.
Page B6.
Yes,
Second.
Everything.
that's everything. No, thank you, Adam.
I second that.
This is all items B4, number 6 through B6, number 16. Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Ms. Osbeck?
Yes.
Ms. Lozinski?
Yes.
Dr. Penna?
Yes.
Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Ms. Riggs?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Saunders? Ms. Cook? Motion carries. We have a motion for all items C1, number 1 through C7, number 5.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Lozinski, second by Dr. Penna. Any questions or comments? Ms. Lozinski?
Yes.
Dr. Penna?
Yes.
Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Ms. Riggs?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Ms. Osbeck?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Wanted to make a motion about changing the date of the special meeting to vote on the budget, and moving it from May 4th to May 8th, 6 p.m. right here at Bradley School.
Second by Ms. Cook. Questions, discussion?
Roll call, Mr. Easton. This is to move our budget meeting from the 4th to the 8th at 6 p.m. Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Ms. Cook? Ms. Lozinski?
Yes.
Dr. Penna?
Yes.
Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Ms. Riggs?
No.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Ms. Olsbeck?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn, please.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
You're not going to let me retire from this?